Here's what these big thread companies don't want you to know. I'm going to tie this bluegrass jig, and all I have got is white ultra thread. I've got no blue. I got just a little bit of blue, but not enough to tie up 10 bluegrass crappie jigs. So I'm going to show you a trick that they don't want you to know about right there. Yep, that's white thread. Stick around and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so we've got the 1/8 ounce freestyle jig head and vise painted bluegrass. And what I mean by bluegrass is we got blue and we got chartreuse. And to achieve this color and make the blue blue and the chartreuse, I started out with a base coat of white powder paint and then sprinkled on some chartreuse and then sprinkled on a little blue on the bottom of it. This is a pretty effective jig. I'm running low on my threads and some of my hackles, so I had to come up with a plan on how to do this. And I've done videos on this before, and it's probably something that the thread companies don't really want you to know. We've got white 210 from Ultra Thread. There'll be a link to all this in the description through my Amazon storefront. And thank you to everybody that's bought anything from that. Everything on there, from the coffee I drink to the vise I use, the thread I use, the loom bobbins I always use. I love that ergonomic grip. It just fits right in your hand. It's a very smooth, not too much tension, not too little tension. And if there is, then you kind of see how I've adjusted this one over the years. You can bend them in a little bit, and you can bend them out, and they still hold that spring to them. Love the loom bobbins. So let's get started. 1/8 ounce, number 4 J-hook, painted bluegrass colors, and we're going to be using barred hackle on this jig. Chartreuse feathers, blue feathers. We're going to UV resin coat on some blue eyes. Get this thing rolling. This will be up on Facebook auction coming up here pretty soon, so be sure to check that out. But what we're going to do is, I've already got some of these cut out. I'm going to take 2 of these barred hackle feathers. I know I sent a lot of people there and the guy had none in stock, but I'm telling you, these are absolutely the prettiest hackle feathers I've ever tied with. These need to belong to a fly tire somewhere, but they're going to work for my old hillbilly crappie jigs. We're going to pinch like 3 or 4 of them together. I'm going to try to even them out, see where I need to be. About right there where my thumb's at. That's about the length of them. So let's pinch them right there, and we're just going to cut it off. And I'm going to save that because that's good neck hackle stuff for later on when you want to tie on a kind of like a barbed collar around the head. That stuff's going to come in really handy. Got them stacked up. 2 chartreuse ones, 2 blue ones. I'm going to try to get the blue ones where they're on the bottom. After I done missed my first step, we're going to try to do this now with feathers pinched in between my fingers. I'm going to put a little coat of the Sally Hansen's on just like we always do. Still trying to hold on to those feathers. I'm going to wrap that jig head. This is going to be a Chanelist body crappie jig. So let's get rolling. You can see the white starting to show up. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people right now watching that already know what I do. I'm going to walk you through it. So now we're going to take our feathers. Going to lay them right on the shank of the hook. Some loose wraps right there at the beginning. Yep, they felt pretty good. The one thing about tying Chanelist body crappie jigs with white thread is that thread is always dingy looking. It's never a good white. The only time I really use the white thread is when I'm tying a jig with a Chanel body that is mainly white. Just because I don't like the way the white looks after you get it tied up. Like I said, it's kind of got a dingy look to it. So you don't see me use a whole lot of white thread. Like I said, unless I want the neck white or I'm matching the Chanel body. Same thing. 1 more green chartreuse hackle, barred hackle, and 2 little strips of blue. And the amount of feathers that are on these patches of hackles, crazy. Pretty crazy. And we're going to wrap that one up. Then we're going to go to the other side. Then we're going to put in some blue flash. We're going to make this jig pretty nice. So you're starting to get to that white thread. And anybody else have that problem where your white thread's just always dingy looking? And it could just be from handling with your hands and your fingers and oil from your hands getting on it, but it's never really white. It's an ugly white. Not even a pearl white or an eggshell white. It's just a dingy looking, dirty looking white color. All right, so we just about got it. We'll wrap that in, get our tapered neck going, and we're gonna go to our flash. We're gonna pull off just about the length of what the hackle feathers were, and you can go as little on your flash, or you can go as heavy on your flash, or don't add flash. That part's all up to you. I think we probably got enough right there. So we're gonna lay that right on the neck of the jig. And I would have to think that if I owned a thread making company that was selling thread to fly tires, I probably wouldn't want everybody to know this trick either, because if you can't find a color, you can make it. There's some blue there. It's being stingy. It ain't wanting to bury. Yeah, we got it. All right, so we're gonna leave our bobbin hanging loose. We're gonna use a blue Sharpie. And we're gonna color in everything that's back here. And this blue Sharpie is almost so dark that it's made the neck kind of a purple, but it works. And if you don't care about the color of your neck, do whatever color you want. Leave it dingy white or put a layer of something else over top of it. I'm gonna get as close to that jig head as I can. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of the way here just a little bit, and I'm gonna pull out some thread. And you need to do this with a Sharpie because it ain't gonna bleed in the water on you, but we're gonna UV resin coat that neck anyway. Stretch that white thread out and give it a good coat. Then wind it back up in your spool. Oh, there's a bunch right there. Uh-oh, it slipped. Can we save it? We're gonna find out. I think we got it. Sometimes that causes a disaster right there. Sometimes that'll make it where you can't really even use it. There we go. We achieved our blue neck with white hackle, and I didn't do it far enough, and I still got a little bit of that white thread showing, but we're just gonna go over top that with the Sharpie. I think we're good. And you can also, you can get colored UV resins, and I believe you can color your own UV resin too. I think there's stuff you can put in them to make it whatever color you want. Actually, I think I had a bottle of blue UV resin over there that would have worked perfect. And I got to thinking about it. How many little bitty bottles? I'll see if I can't find the length of those and put those on. See if we can find that. Now let's go to our eyes. We're pretty close to being done with this one. Pretty close. So what do y'all think so far? Is it worth the trick, the hassle? Would you rather just do a blue neck, or was that the right way to do it? Y'all let me know. Tell me what you think. I was doing 5 of these at 1/8 and a 5 and 16th. I wish that would have been lighter bladed, but we're gonna live with it. Put a big old glob of UV resin on there, and I haven't had the UV resin affected any, melt the colors or chemical reactions or anything like that. It seems like it all works out good. I've been doing this for quite a long time. If I got into a pinch where I was running out of colored thread, I had bought a big pack of colored Sharpies just for that. The orange one goes on really good. It has a really good orange color. Red, just that blue's kind of almost really dark, but it kind of works because it kind of matches the color of that flash. So we're going to hit it real quick with our UV light, get it set up, and we're about done with it. There we go. We got it. Tying a blue neck with white ultra thread. What do you think? Bluegrass? I like that one. Would you fish with this one? Is there a certain condition you would fish this one? Clear water, muddy water? Give me your opinion on that. Let me know what you think about this jig and where you would use it and how you would use it. I get a lot of people that ask me for bluegrass colored jigs, and there it is. That's my bluegrass. That's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please, if you're going to get some of this stuff off Amazon, consider using my channel. It's the best way to support what I do. Thank you to everybody that has got a paid subscription. Greatly appreciate that, and there'll be a lot more perks to come along with that here as we go. There it is. Boom, bluegrass.